Hello? Hello? Anybody home? We have so much shit to talk about today. Oh my gods. Wait. Let me find my stuff real quick. I am probably gonna get in trouble for playing this again, but honestly, meh. At this point, how about meh? Okay, then we update this. Also, chat, quick reminder. If you're having the new view booting policy that exists, it requires like refreshes and all sorts of other BS. Let's see. I think that's everything. What does this button do? Why are you here? Why do I have to see your face? Oh. Yeah, you kind of need to give it a little boop for it to show. Which I know is stupid. But that's just kind of how it is. Hello. How y'all doing today? So many people. Dude, it's so warm today and I have no idea why. Cause like we got fall. We actually got fall. And for some reason I'm just absolutely cooked. I don't know. But yeah, because stupid things are stupid. Hey, I need to actually move stuff over to a different PC. Ah, shit, I should have. Wait, give me a sec. If you're in ad hell, I'm sorry. I can't help you. You don't get ads for another hour. Twitch being Twitch. Also, how are we feeling about the new overlays? I'm really happy with them. Creative Mode did a wonderful job. I can never remember if create mode is wanting to go by create mode or by other names. Alright, bum 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 bum. This, I don't think I'm logged into Blue Sky on this PC, but that doesn't, I don't think that matters. I don't think I need that. Oh, I managed to get an early registration today to guarantee myself an ETB, Mega Evolutions ETB. Really happy about that. I voted today. Because there's a general election vote next week? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. It's the same day that I deliver my car. Blah blah blah. Part 2 giveaway. Cards Japan we're following. We like and we retweet, and then we go into the comments thing and we do at the. Come on. False. And we wish him good luck. That's that. So there's a draw for that. Just one tomorrow. Wait, 3 winners. Oh, it's one stay hit. Two K followers. They're at 1509. Oh well, Selai. Alright, yaps. There was something I wanted to yap about. Oh yeah, so for anyone who's new or hasn't been around for a while, I play a lot of Final Fantasy XIV. I've been in a really serious Pokemon grind lately. I have like, I think currently I have like 6 active saves that are doing stuff. They revealed the newest Mega. That video was amazing. Pokemon being Pokemon, however, I'm assuming it's not going to be like all that to show that trailer. It's good. You should absolutely give it a watch. I just want to find the good one. Please don't autoplay. Thank you. Copy. I can't leave this PC. That's paste. Why is YouTube chat always on top chat and not live chat? That's so dumb. It's almost, just almost, as dumb as me. Alright, that's that. Go watch that if you wanna watch something Pokemon related. Also, Final Fantasy stuff. Mare, a mod syncing mod, was taken down a few weeks ago. I know it's not pronounced Mare, but I do not remember the pronunciation, and that's how it's spelled, so, you know, good luck. But yeah, it was taken down. The sync shell, the mod syncing mod was taken down because it did some fucky shit with like server injection and stuff that I really don't understand, if I'm being completely honest. However, it showed a really interesting thing. It showed the fact that, like, I think it's 2% or something, which admittedly isn't a lot, but like 2% of all active users were logged in and actively using Mare, which is insane. Because like you're talking about, what was it, 230,000 users or something like that. It was like, it was a noticeable amount of people. Anyway, this sparked a lot of nonsense, really. About like what you're supposed to be doing, or what you're not supposed to be doing, and what is expected of a game that you actively pay for, blah blah. Eventually, after the forums drowned in complaints and everything, Yoshi eventually did respond to all the things. Let me just find the post. Lodestone. It should be front page Lodestone, because it's like pretty serious stuff. Yeah, regarding mod usage and culture. So I'll read through this and then we can yap about it after. We request the cooperation of media outlets and those intending to repost this comment elsewhere. Please do not summarize or provide any excerpts. We respectfully ask that you link readers to this comment instead. So what I will do is I will put it in chat, so you can read along with me if you want to, or you can just listen, and I will read the entire thing before I have any opinions about it. How about that? Hello everyone, producer and director Yoshida here. I'd like to address the recent feedback and discussion among the community regarding in-game mods. This post is not meant to target any one mod specifically, but I'd like to touch on the general subject of mods, their use and the culture surrounding them. I thank you in advance for understanding. Firstly, while I'm in charge of Final Fantasy XIV, I'm also a PC gamer, and have been for many years. I've spoken about this multiple times in the past, but my own personal stance regarding mods is that I do tolerate them. Has not changed. In the past 20 or so years, I've seen numerous positive examples of games with fan-made mods that expand upon existing gameplay. However, these mods are generally created with a vital premise in mind. They are for personal use only, and the individual player is responsible for the mods they use. Furthermore, the mods must not impact the core game, its services, or the intended game design in a negative manner. I personally feel that these rules should be followed by all mod creators and users. That being said, if players continue to uphold the above premise of mods enhancing one's personal enjoyment of the game and acknowledge that they are taking responsibility for what they download, I personally see no reason to track down or investigate gamers for the general use of mods. Of course, from my position leading Final Fantasy XIV, I feel that it is vital for players to follow our user agreement and other rules. Additionally, I'd like to stress the importance that players follow two rules: that their style of gameplay does not infringe upon others, and that they do not negatively impact the core game, its services, or intended game design as mentioned above. It is my sincerest hope that everyone can continue playing Final Fantasy XIV as well as other PC games in ways that are enjoyable to them. Below, I'd like to elaborate on what infringing upon others and negatively impacting the intended game design entail. These are merely examples, so I don't mind if you skip over them. Please keep in mind that these theoretical examples do not single out any particular mod. Furthermore, this is not a criticism of those who create or use mods. The following is meant to deepen everyone's understanding of our stance on this matter. Blah blah blah. Bye bye. Altering item and character appearances. In Final Fantasy XIV, we have several extremely high-end duties that challenge players to their limit, known as ultimate raids. Yo, what up? We're going through the latest statement from Final Fantasy XIV's producer regarding the mod situation that's been taking place over there. So we're like mid-read. Known as ultimate raids. To defeat the enemies within these raids, players must dedicate a significant amount of time and effort. As their reward for clearing, they earn the title of Legend, as well as job-specific weapons with specialized visual effects. Let's say player A loves ultimate raids and is motivated to challenge them at every opportunity. After they clear, they proudly equip their new title and weapon as proof of their party's diligent efforts to earn them. Meanwhile, we have player B, who makes use of a specific mod. This mod allows them to bypass the conditions of obtaining in-game items, making it possible for them to equip any item in the game, including items that must be purchased with real money. Player B is busy with work, and although they have the motivation, their circumstances prevent them from progressing through any of the ultimate raids. They decide instead to install a mod so they can at least see what it looks like to have their own character equipped with one of the ultimate raid weapons. Player B uses said mod to equip a set of items which only displays on their client screen. To other players, Player B's model is only wearing default gear, but on Player B's monitor, they're equipped with a dazzling ultimate weapon. They take a screenshot of their character and decide to use it as their desktop background. In this case, Player A has followed the rules of the game and worked hard with their party to clear the ultimate raid, earning themselves a weapon and a title as evidence of their feat. When other players come across Player A using their title and ultimate weapon, they see a legend who has overcome one of the game's most punishing duties. On the other hand, should they encounter Player B, they would simply see a character with their default gear. Now, let's imagine a scenario in which Player A and B cross paths in-game. On Player B's screen, Player A appears with their brand new title and ultimate weapon, the same weapon that they appear to themselves as having equipped. Conversely, on Player A's screen, Player A appears to have their title and hard-won weapon, while Player B has their default gear. In other words, Player A sees the reward each player has earned fairly within the context of the game's rules. Player B sees a modified version of the game, but these changes are visible only to Player B themselves, and thus falls within the realm of individual enjoyment. Please note that this is not intended as a judgment on the virtue of one approach versus the other. Similarly, if a player chooses to install a mod, the risk of encountering viruses, for example, is borne by the individual. Additionally, mods that do not adversely affect other players and which ensure visual changes are only visible on the individual user can be said to narrowly maintain the integrity of the game's design, although of course this is open to interpretation. However, if a mod was updated and its changes became visible not just to the individual mod user, but to other players too, what would the implications be? Player A, with their title and gear earned from hours of concerted effort with their friends, and Player B, with their mod-derived gear, are now on a level playing field, so to speak. This development may not concern Player B, but for Player A, it considerably negates the cooperation, time, and effort invested, not to mention the pride they might have felt in their achievement. After all, their rewards are now available to anyone with the mod installed, albeit lacking the corresponding in-game attributes. In this example, other players have been infringed upon and the intended design of the game has been negatively impacted. Although Player B may have been unaware of the mod's precise functionality, their usage has diminished other players' motivation and circumvented the game's systems. Even if the creator of the mod simply intended for players to readily access and enjoy their favorite gear, they have detrimentally affected both the game and the wider player community. In response, our only options would be to ask that players cease using the mod or to request that the mod creator removes the functionality causing the problem. Of course, we could also implement preventative measures in-game, but this would divert programming resources from other areas, potentially damaging the enjoyment of other players in the long run. The scenario outlined above is just one example, but I hope it helps clarify differences between mod usage within the realm of individual enjoyment and mod usage which is damaging to the game itself. Some players might ask, well, what about a mod which only makes changes visible to other users of the same mod? This is where Mayor comes in. The issue is that any mod which makes visible to others requires the manipulation or rewriting of game files, which is fundamentally even more problematic and destructive. Even supposing that this theoretical mod provided generous improvements to the game and was well received by all players, the moment a problematic feature is introduced to said mod, we must insist that players stop using it. Another example of such a feature, a mod that allows players to freely equip optional items and display them to others. What does that say to the players who go through the trouble of saving up to purchase these goods from the online store? Are these players losing out by not using a mod? Some may say that Square Enix is to blame for trying to make money by demanding that players spend extra on optional items. We operate our servers and its centers 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with the hope that our players can enjoy a reliable gaming experience. Well, I mean, they try. Currently, global inflation is taking its toll at a rapid pace, driving up server electricity costs, the cost of land, and even the price of the servers themselves. We do not want to increase subscription fees for players if at all possible, but keeping our game running requires sufficient income. If we start creating a deficit, Final Fantasy XIV may no longer be able to operate. This is an example of damage dealt to services we provide. In these cases as well, we ask that players refrain from using such mods or remove the offending function from the mod itself. I personally understand that modding culture is rooted in good intentions, but we are given no choice but to act if mods even incidentally threaten player motivation or the viability of our services. Let's consider another theoretical mod. One that displays your character entirely naked. If this presentation is displayed on the user's screen, that might fall into the category of personal use and responsibility. Parentheses, bear in mind that this is my personal interpretation and not a discussion of whether that behavior is right or wrong. End bracket. However, if the user posts a screenshot of their naked character publicly on social media, Final Fantasy XIV itself may be subject to legal measures by regulators in certain countries. You also have like there's so many things that go into that. Laws that regulate the content of video games grow stricter by the year. These laws are there to protect minors and for a variety of other reasons, but the fact remains that they are tangibly becoming stricter. We have a duty to provide our services in adherence to the laws of all countries where Final Fantasy XIV is available, and if we are unable to do so, the distribution of our game can be prohibited. This is another example of damage dealt to our services. Allow me to repeat myself when I say that I do not intend for these examples to be a censure of mod users or creators. I only wish to provide some tangible examples of how using certain mods can damage other players' Final Fantasy XIV and the services we provide, regardless of the mod's original intent. As always, we will do our utmost to keep creating a world which all players can enjoy, even though it may take time to do so. It is my hope to incorporate player feedback and officially fulfill as many functionality requests as possible. I'm also considering how to increase the freedom of choice players have in the gear they choose to equip, while paying respect to the long-standing tradition of modding PC games. I ask that all players in turn respect our game by enjoying their fun within the confines of some basic rules. With that business aside, I'm very pleased to announce the blah 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 FanFest stuff. Yay. This is quite a lot of text. It has some good examples of like what is or what isn't good mod behavior. Like for instance, reshade does not fuck with the game. It fucks with your graphics driver. So it's not fucking with the game. It's which is why you can use it with like almost any game, and it's fine. It is also built for like single player games and intended for single player games, or like enhancing older games, because like you get a lot more features. So like if an old franchise is abandoned, you can still like get fairly modern features into that game by like using reshade as like it's not an injection, it's a redirect technically. But it happens between your GPU and your screen. It doesn't happen between the game and the graphics card. Which I know is like a very simplified way of explaining it, but it's like it's not fucking with game files is what I'm trying to say. Also, the nudity thing, which I kind of want to get that out of the way first, because that's like the least interesting one. The thing that is a problem, like, yeah, sure, legal measures by regulators in certain countries. Highly probable that's not going to be a thing. It might. Because, like, fucking people are crazy. And, like, several American states have banned common sense. So like it might happen. You can also just pull out of those areas if it becomes a problem, like everyone else has. However, I do think you bear some responsibility as a player if you want your character to okay. Very, very, very stereotypically European view. If you want your character to be naked, you should probably have the ability to do so on your end. Like category, personal use and responsibility. However, if you want to post your naked ass character, don't do so in like full view of everyone, please. Like that's a problem. Like, yeah, sure, enjoy your character. Let he, she, they, it be as naked as you want. I really don't care. No one else does either. Have your fun. But like, think about what you're doing with that nudity. And like, either fucking paywall it or share it to close groups. Don't share it to the public where it can be a problem. Like, apply some common sense. Also, I understand mod that allows players to freely equip optional items might be a problem. I don't think so. Like, personally, I don't think so, because like the majority of players are playing fucking vanilla unmodded. I do wish there was a more robust way in game to like look at glam pieces, because right now that feature kind of sucks ass. I also don't fully understand where something like ACT falls into this. So ACT, for anyone unaware, can be used as like a pure DPS meter. Sure. What? Maybe. But it's like, okay, so anyone, if you want to catch up to what we're talking about, it's the bottom link in chat. If you can see the links in chat, I can reshuffle the thing. You might still have it, but like, skim through that. It is kind of interesting because like I'm reading this and I've seen a lot of other people reading this, but I'm not seeing other people getting this the same from this. Yeah, no, so we've read the entire thing. I just read through the entire thing, top to bottom, and now I'm going through and like piecing it out with like some opinions and stuff like that. I find some things a little what's the word? Shit that's opposing. That doesn't make sense. Contradictory? Is that the word I'm looking for? I know you're yapping along about, like, other shit, so, like, there's a chance I asked chat the question, so we're not actually getting a response. I made the mistake of asking a direct question. I should have just, like, kept stuttering, and someone would have eventually helped me. No, I'm asking for a word, you dum-dum. Is it contradictory I'm more looking for? When shit doesn't make sense because they're, like, in opposite directions. Yeah, okay, contradictory. That's the word I was looking for. We get there eventually. Because, like, so what I was talking about was, like, the second theoretical mob. No, contradictory is the word I was looking for. Because, like, the first example here is someone who doesn't have the time or they have the commitment, but they don't have the time to ultimate raid. So they use a client-side mod to, like, take screenshots with ultimate weapons and titles for their own personal enjoyment. And that is, like, fair use of a mod. Where's the thing? Player B uses said mod to equip a set of items which only display on their client screen. To other players B models is only wearing default gear, but on player B's monitor, they're equipped with dazzling ultimate weapon. Every time I see dazzling after having, like, done nothing but consume Pokemon content, I want to finish the thing with Gleam. They take a screenshot of their character and decide to use it as their desktop background. In this case, player A has followed the rules of the game and worked hard with their party to clear the ultimate raid, blah 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 blah. Where's the sentence? Here. Meanwhile, we have player B, who makes use of a specific mod. This mod allows them to bypass the conditions of obtaining in-game items, making it possible for them to equip any item in-game. Player B is busy with work, and although they have the motivation, their circumstances prevent them from progressing through any of the ultimate raids. They decide instead to install a mod so that they can at least see what it looks like. They take a screenshot of the thing, and where's the last sentence? In other words, player A sees the reward each player has earned fairly within the context of the game's rules. Player B sees a modified version of the game, but these changes are visible only to player and B themselves and thus falls within the realm of individual enjoyment. However, if you make it a little further down the thing, there's another example of someone dressing that's naked. That's not the one I was thinking of. It's a little further up. Yeah, another example of such a feature, a mod that allows players to freely equip optional items and display them to others. I don't think that's okay if you're able to display them to others. However, if you're able to display them to yourself, I find it really difficult to say that one is okay and one isn't. I understand that this is a bought item. On the other hand, if it's client side, I don't really care. I also really don't care if it's posted all over social media and everything. Also, this is the thing I wanted to talk about with like the modding of naked characters. There is a specific rule about like the modification of nudity in Final Fantasy prior to this. And it is yeah, but they're like opposed to like every prior time. Stream is still going, right? Because my PC has completely frozen all browser windows. Hello? Are we still up? Stream is going. Everything is fucking crashed. Hello? Firefox has crashed in the first time since 2007. I have actually witnessed Firefox crashing. That is insane. Good on our end. Superb. Okay, back to the thing. Naked Final Fantasy characters. That is a wild thing to say as like a normal topic. No, there was a thing I wanted to say before that. If it's local to your eye, Square Enix says okay. Once it directly impacts others, it's not okay. Yeah, but the thing in the past, and the thing that I keep seeing across social media, is that people are still saying it's the first rule of Fight Club. However, this is saying that you can now openly talk about and show off mods as long as they don't impact other players directly in game. This is pretty significant progress on like the modder side. This is very pro modding community, which is a great leap forward. This is just saying fucking go ahead. Don't fuck with other players' experiences. But like, enjoy your mods. Yeah, I genuinely think this is the first time that I've had a freeze crash of Firefox in the almost 20 years that I've been using Firefox as my main browser. Even supposing that this theoretical mod provided generous improvements to the game and was well received by all players, the moment a problematic feature is introduced to said mod, we must insist that players stop using it. Equals nudity ban. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. The thing is, well, I don't know how the legal is for like, Japan. However, let me find the naked paragraph again. Cause like there is things you still can do as a, because Final Fantasy is a fully operable game from like 2.0 onward. Like the entire thing is accessible. They can literally show that this is a personal modification. And not something that is like originally in code. So this is a fully like, this is a non-paragraph really. It's like, I understand where they're coming from with like putting your nude character out in public on social media looks bad on the Final Fantasy as a game. It doesn't really. It looks kind of bad on the community, but the Final Fantasy community is already fucking the gooner game. So it's like, who the fuck cares? I do think it's because I don't know how Mare. I know, yes, I'm fully aware that it's not pronounced Mare, but I do not remember the pronunciation and will continue to butcher it. The problem I have with Mare is that I do not understand how it works. The main, like the sync mod that started all of this. I don't understand how that works. Allegedly, it worked on like its own separate servers, and it used like a code sharing system to transfer mods between PCs in like a peer-to-peer thing, I think. But it didn't like actually inject, if I understand correctly, it didn't actually inject in the game. It just like, cause the way Final Fantasy modding works is that if you mod a piece, that piece changes. It changes all renders of that piece. So it's not like if I grab whatever I don't know, super oversized hoodie mod, whatever, and I use that and I replace the Kryl optional set from the store. That would change that. That would change that set for everyone who's wearing that set on my client side. It's not like it just specifically targets the ID of that item in my specific inventory. It changes the appearance of all of them. So what Mir allowed was it allowed you to sync mods across users. There are some wild examples of this where like fucking cat girls turn into like 12 feet tall demons, and there's a really good video. You have to watch it on some shady, not YouTube. Yeah, helpful. What's it called? FXIV modding underbelly. Do I find it? The seedy underbelly of Final Fantasy 14. That's just the first video. Will you be fully AFK or will you be ears on? Also, great mode, how are you doing? I think I asked, but I might have. Won't have ears. Good luck. Let me see if this has a link to the follow-up video. Yeah, you have to watch the follow-up video on Daily Motion. Man, I fucking crossed it out. If you want to queue up a video to watch for later, I highly recommend you go watch these. These are like, they're kind of interesting. Or at least, you know, I find them interesting because like this shit. Oh god, that's loud. Shush. Skip. Who would have thought that shit YouTube knockoff was shit? Anyway, Daily Motion. There. Daily Motion is the only place to watch that video because it was taken down on YouTube because it showed mere syncing. So the stance with like visual mods has always been like, don't ask, don't tell. It has been show, but don't acknowledge as well. So like you will see a lot of like streamers and whatnot they will play modded Final Fantasy like fucking live. And that is not a problem. Because there is the plausible deniability thing, right? So everyone who has like modded color layers or something like that, you'll see a lot of shit. If you go through and watch those two videos, you will see a lot of shit. It's kind of glorious, actually. Highly recommend. It is always been like we don't talk about mods as long as you don't show mods loading. Videos are usually fine, like streams and whatnot. If you like say Mirror was still a thing, you could like put up your normal ass screen, and then whenever the thing is loaded, you click the little button, and then you go over to your like thing. I don't have anything interesting on here. It's like all Holutra and the Oko podcast, which you should absolutely watch. It's like dude, I hit the wrong button because like all my shit is misaligned. It's this one. Yeah, no, I do. There is absolutely nothing interesting on my my Twitter feed today. Well, it's nothing that is like bannable. General thoughts like, okay, we're gonna do some sleuthing on the official post here and see what people are saying. That was not the official post. Where is it? Tiff posted begging people to stop using the hashtag FFXIV or the XIV tag for modding purposes. Feel like the culture there got too comfortable talking about it publicly. But yeah, mostly what people do is they mod a tire or like emotes, cause like the modding community has the time to transfer emotes from like one game to another. Oh, dear mother of Christ, can we, like, have... a second of, like... not Final Fantasy porn? No? Brother, it's either fan art or modded porn. I understand why they're pissed at us. That's not okay at all. These are old. Oh my days. I just wanted to grab like an example of a modded thing that won't get me in trouble. Cause like I usually see a lot of modded content to the point where I'm like completely desensitized to like noticing modded content. Also, like fucking almost all of housing that you find, if you find screenshots of housing, it's very, very likely that it's been modded in some way. Cause like doing it the proper way sucks ass. I know, because I do it through the means that are within game. It sucks dick, because as soon as you like forget something and you have to redo a thing, you have to basically start over. I've actually scrolled so far that I've found my own character. Almost every good screenshot you see is has a mod thing to it. Dude, I'm desperately trying to find something that won't get me absolutely destroyed. But this is difficult. Where the fuck did all the chill mods go? This is a lot of trouble. Dude, I'm giving up. That is too much for even for me. And we've fucking been around for a long time. We've been around for a long time. And that's too much. That is actually too much. Can we... Why can I never find a post when I need it? To be fair, it's my own fault for, like, having been retweeting so much. Wait, Blue Sky. Blue Sky might actually save me in this. Am I logged in? No. Of course I'm not. Whoop. I mean, this is gambling too, because like all the thirsty ass motherfuckers that didn't want to be on Twitter anymore. They left for here. So like, it's kind of scroll at your own risk here too. I also kind of want to really shitpost. I should just go on an unhinged here on social media. I think that could be fun for all of us. I swear I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just actually looking for something. However, finding it kinda difficult. I used to follow someone who had like a really good example of like what I'm talking about with like the like discrete mobs. But obviously I'm not finding them now, because that would be too easy. But the annoying thing is that like the game actually looks really good by itself. So like there is a lot of opportunity to like suspend disbelief, or like suspend belief, or I don't know which one it is for like the correct phrase. I'm not. But it's like there is a lot of screenshots out there that are like of heavily modded characters, but you would never know because there is like literally thousands of gear pieces, and there's always some motherfucker out there that manages to make it work. Oh my god, I am scrolling so far, I'm gonna fucking ruin this. Nope, okay, I'm giving up. I think. I don't care about any of the other shit that's on this screen though. Oh yeah. I have no idea who this character is. But if we hit this button, here's an example of a character that could have just been in game as is. However, teeth are different, hair is different. The makeup is unoriginal. Does not belong in game. The like fucking cheek streaks and everything is like, it's all there, but it's wrong. Well, it's not wrong, it's different. This is like ever so slightly modified, but it looks right until you look at the characters side by side. Because like we do have some modern options, but it's like it looks fine until you start like until you start matching it with other characters. That like Usually they're like slightly higher texture resolution, and like there's a lot of modding stuff that exists out there that is like pure quality of life shit. And it, alright, call me a hater, but I really think that it shouldn't have took the dev team 5 years to give us text bubbles that were already in the game. That a game modder figured out by themselves how to implement. I have no idea what makes games difficult to work on. And I'm sure there is a reason why it took so long, like priorities and stuff. However, you're the official team with all the resources at your fingertips. You knew it was a highly requested feature, and it still took 5 years to implement. It might have been 4. But it took ages to implement. Did I run out of soup? Chat, I think I ran out of soup. Is this a mouse that works when plugged in? Yeah! Sick. We're not playing mouse and keyboard games anyway today. Actually not playing any games today. At all. I will get up and have me a break soon. What was I talking about prior to getting sidetracked? Oh yeah, text bubbles. Final Fantasy text bubbles have existed for a really long time. Chat bubbles. They exist in game. They've always existed in game. Because like the NPCs use the text bubbles to yap. So they've always been there. So I don't know why it was so goddamn difficult. If a single developer on their own free time managed to make it work back in like early Shadowbringers or something, it shouldn't have taken the devs 5 years or however long. I don't remember when they announced chat bubbles announced. Square Enix good for adding this, Square Enix bad because modders added it first. True. It's finally getting trunk bubbles. No, I. I know. 2024 was not the first time they talked about the chat bubble feature. Absolutely not. It's not gonna be like they confirmed that chat bubbles were gonna be a thing a very long time ago. Or that it was like the most requested feature. That is a very long time ago. Yeah, I see confirmation. Wait, is this like actually? I see a lot of like 2023 posts about it, but I don't know if that is like grabbing metadata from other videos. So I'm seeing a lot of videos with like chat bubbles confirmed as the like description text. But I know they talked about the Final Fantasy, like adding chat bubbles to Final Fantasy. They talked about that ages ago, and then it took forever for them to implement. And like some motherfucker was able to do it on their own spare time with no budget. And like just wanting a thing to exist. It's so stupid. So all of that just to say that I really wish that the Final Fantasy dev team, instead of like shooting down the original modders and implementing a worse version of the service the modding community provides, they should like try to reach out to them and see if there is a way to implement the modded version, because the modded version is usually fucking better anyway. Cause like if it has to load through something else, there has to be a way to make it load like directly into game instead of like injecting launch. There has to be a better way to do that. And I refuse to believe that there isn't. And that if they have access to the like official modding, unofficial modded code, they should be able to figure out how to do it in like relatively short time. So I feel like what I've talked about this a bunch of times. I firmly believe that I could probably fix most of the issues people have with Final Fantasy. By like a restructure. And like contract work. I think that if you contract in all the people who do mods, if you work alongside the community and you do like polling, because that's actually genuinely a good way to do it, is you do like a suggestion round. So if Yoshida, when we want to hear which mods you guys are actually playing with, you reply to a thing, and then the like 5 most suggested mods, they go into a poll for like added features, and then they work directly with the modding community to figure out how to implement these specific mods. I think that would be great. I think that is a good way to like have a consistent idea of what players want. Cause like then you get a vote. So like all the people who don't actually play modded, they play vanilla, they get to be like, oh yeah, I don't actually mod, so I can't contribute to the first part, but I now see the poll. I like this thing, and it's like a better system for looking at glams. I don't know. Or like customizable teleportation animations, or because there are some really good ones out there that are mods. Or maybe it's like more UI things. A lot of the stuff that has been added to Final Fantasy XIV as like accessibility features used to be mods, because they didn't do anything with it, and it took them fucking 10 years to add basic accessibility things. There is people out there. There is a group of like ultimate raiders that are fucking blind. Like actually blind. But they know what to do, because of like because of spatial audio. Because spatial audio is actually a thing. And different surfaces make different sounds when you walk on them. So if you're like legally blind or like severely visually impaired, so it's like fucking all fog, a lot of people are still able to play. Oh yeah, this mouse is connected. Wait, can I cheat and be connected to both PCs at the same time? No. That would have been silly. It would have been funny if it was like that. Come on. Register. Hello. Oh, dude. You're not out of power again. Stop lying to me. There we go. I was just trying to reset my music. Yeah. Oh. We are dropping frames. Dude, I hate my ISP. But because I live in a huge ass building, well, for the small place that I live in, it is a fairly huge building. Wait, do I go out of focus over here? I don't know. But yeah, it's like 44 apartments, I believe. So it's kind of a pain in the dick to change ISPs because they are like providing TV through the like rent. It's basically a whole lot of thing. We keep calling it rent, but it's like it's external maintenance, parking, water, trash collecting, janitor and landscaping services, and something else. Oh yeah, and TV from this fuck-ass ISP. I have actually, in all the places that I've lived, I have never not had a problem with this ISP. They have been problematic everywhere. It is actually insane. However, the board here is starting to consider converting the entire building to fiber. So we'll see. But I did talk to the board manager the other day because I happened to stumble upon him out in the stairwell. But the thing is, they don't know how to approach that. So they're like considering taking in third-party counsel to like negotiate the thing, which is fine because, you know, I could be hired third-party counsel to fuck over this ISP that we're currently in a deal with. I am actually very on board with that. It's probably gonna suck ass to like get a deal. I have no idea how they're gonna do it. So this building is 5 floors and 4 of them are apartments. The first, what is first floor is technically a different address. Yeah, that's fun. So wait, let me find something to doodle on here. First off, I'm not looking at it like that. Sure. And then we can do pop. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Not fucking controlled. Oh, delete. Two. Three. Sure. So this is like absolutely not to scale or anything. It's just like for the basic understanding of everything. So like, don't worry about it. And then we unclick the thing and we do a little something like nah, that's pretty good. The browser. Yeah. So the building built like this. So for half the it's like freaking steerable and some shit. Little outside thing for every entrance for every apartment. Like so. And then apartments outside the stairwell. There's also an elevator and stuff. And then it's roughly like this. Very roughly like this. So there's a basement level. And there's like a bajillion apartments. I don't know how infrastructure runs in this building. That's like the biggest problem. I know all the power comes in. It comes in either here somewhere or here somewhere. I think. Oh yeah, there's like a main entrance underneath here. And there's like some business office space underneath here. So this has basement with all the storage and everything, and there's also like basement space out here in like the private, fuck, is it called a courtyard? I don't know. But yeah, there's basement space there because there's basement parking. Which is fucking really cool. I for some reason I really like that detail that you draw like underneath. Anyway, this is like roughly how this building works. It's very roughly. But yeah, I don't know where infrastructure goes in. I know power is distributed from like the basement here-ish on this side. And that's about all that I know. It's all that I understand about this. I don't know where all the coax and everything comes in. And I kind of need to know that if we're gonna contract someone, or like find a contract for someone to put in fiber. Because probably the easiest way to do it, because it's like a fucking 4 floors or 5 floors or... Oh god, there are so many floors. I think there is 1 floor too many on this. Yeah. Yeah. This should have been basement. Anyway. So there's like fucking parking in here, and then there's like a street out here. But yeah, all the coax, like the current copper that goes to every apartment comes in somewhere in the basement, obviously. But yeah, the downstairs like business spaces. They have a different address for some reason. I also don't know if they belong to the same thing. So if we have to like negotiate on their behalfs as well. month? I have no idea. It's gonna suck regardless. But I'm thinking that if I can figure out where the fuck all the coax comes in from, we might be able to use that to blow glass. Maybe. Because that's probably the easiest way to do it. Because it's guaranteed, like, fucking crawling up the walls here and, like, as, like, a squid being distributed throughout the building as it, like, moves up the floors. It's not going to be like a branching connection, right? So we'd have to... It's gonna be so bad. It's gonna be so insanely bad to get that bad. I'm so curious how it's ran in the other apartments that face the other way. Cause like I have my coax like over there in the corner. That's on the opposite side of the wall, but it's on that corner. But I'm so sick of this ISP. But now the other people here are starting to get sick of this ISP too. So it means that there's hope. Because they delivered the TV as well, and because the TV signal is now fully digital and relies on conversion over their like home broadband delivery. Like, mind you, I am the second youngest person living here, so there is not a lot of hardcore gaming and stuff going on. I think I'm the youngest by like quite a bit. Well, second youngest. May return. Yeah, I'm just gonna yap for another hour or so. I'm gonna try to get on a little earlier tomorrow. See if we can bang out our playthrough. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about today? We yapped about the Final Fantasy thing. Oko has a new episode. Chisingro Chats has a new episode that came out yesterday. It's a really good series. I've talked about it before. It's a really cute series called 6 Pokemon 1 Life Story. And I highly recommend it. If you're like interested in some of the characters and the goings on in the like greater Pokemon community, and you just want to have like something nice on in the background, there is a whole ass playlist. It's like 70 episodes long or something. The most recent one had Cam Steady on, one of the artists from the world's opening and closing ceremonies. It was a really, really good episode. I really liked what he had to say. And figuring out like how he ended up involved in producing music for Pokemon. It was a really, really good thing. It was a really good episode, and I highly recommend it. What else? We talked about the modding thing. Pokemon stuffs. New Holotrons. Mega Evolution trailer. The trailer is amazing. Go watch it if you haven't. Outside of that, I don't. If I can't figure out anything else to yap about, I'll probably just fuck off, if I'm being completely honest. We don't have any matches to look forward to this week either. There's like absolutely nothing going on. It's like downtime in competitive Pokemon. There's downtime in Valorant Game Changers. There's downtime. Oh well, there is LTA North for anyone interested in League. That's on Saturday, I think. And then what else? We talked about the new old regulation rules on Monday, Tuesday. What day is it today? I don't fucking know. Thursday? Yeah, sorry about the no stream attempt yesterday. I fucking fell asleep and I didn't wake up until like 11 p.m. Which was a brilliant move on my part. What else is going on out there? A lot of modding shenanigans that I really ultra mega don't care about. We talked about all the modding stuff that I did care about. So like, eh. No, I think we've actually ran our topics right. I'm just seeing repeats of the stuff that we've already talked about. So instead of like just wasting y'all's time, I am gonna just fuck off. Who's live? Let's see. Following short low high. Yo, T-Rex is doing Mario Kart collab? Yes, please. Yes. That's a good thing. Cat, I'm head out. Y'all go hang out with T-Rex. T-Rex is cool. Promise. And I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow, hopefully. then we'll finally finish our Pokemon game from 2 months ago. Anyway, good luck. Bye-bye.
Darn, a golden mushroom. Just let me, no, my butt fucking shells.
No, oh yeah, it's a gold shell. That'll help you so much. Game 7.
Yeah.
Thank you, game.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Where am I? I don't know where I'm at. I'll take almost. Okay, I'll take 11.
I got squished.
Imagine